I've rented a digger because I need to dig a trench of, what is it, 70 meters in total. So it's gonna help me. Small thing, it's dangerous on the slope. I mean, I have to learn. It's the first time I do it, but yeah, that's gonna be fun. So this is the corner. Oh, so that's where it goes this way.
Yes.
Should you bring the map?
In your office.
Oh, I can open it. Well, I'll get it.
So you can, so as your boundary you can use this wall, because the wall is...
The wall's gonna stay here. But I will build a fence. I want to know it there, so I'll build a fence. So that's the geometra with his dog at the neighbor's house. We're doing the boundary marking, so I know exactly where the boundaries of my property are. He's trying to set the GPS somewhere next to a building because it's a good anchor point, because the buildings are on the map. Also the ruins, not all of them, but most of them. So I think it's a good anchor point to set the GPS and to create the maps.
This is the house in, I can say, in Google Map or Big Map, and this is what I measure, and this is the map. So the map is not so accurate, but my measure
Okay.
are pretty good.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Well, okay.
Okay.
The assistant is gonna checking. It's okay. It's okay. Not so bad. Not so bad. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Now.
There, like that. Okay, perfect. So after this you send me like sort of a Google satellite, like the satellite image you had?
Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah, so I have more detailed. Yeah, that will be great. Oh.
If you need, I can also send you the... Can use that wall.
A young girl just came by to drop this off. She's from Lucerna, which is a town not so far from here. I found you, she said. Smells nice. She said there were seeds for the garden. Let me just have a look. Chicory. Key tag. Soap. Really nice to see the forest come alive. Like every day I see a lot of change. This birch tree is ahead of everyone. And then a few downs over there. They just catch a bit more sun. They go so fast. Ah, these are beautiful. Fresh leaves. There's these big piles of stones everywhere. And they're saying that the farmers that lived here, they piled them up to clean up the soil when they were still farming here. Which is a long time ago, because this forest is about 50 years old. Those beech trees, 'cause they're pretty big. This is just on the neighbor's land. And yeah, they look prehistoric. They're pretty old. Looking at how they look, mossy and stuff. Working on the slope is quite tricky. I have to be careful that it doesn't topple over. So in this position it's good because you got the rake in there. How do you call this thing? I don't know. So it kind of blocks it from, it makes it a little longer. Because these small machines, they're really easy to topple over because you're kind of top heavy. So you have to balance it out. Oh, the boom is coming. Yeah, so this is a tricky bit. I have to dig against the wall there so it can go into the house, the electricity, and then this one has to continue onwards around the corner of the small cabin. I'm gonna have to stabilize it. probably a better way of doing this, but I want to get some protection on the cables. They're already insulated. They're a 3-core 2.5 mil, and yeah, so I got these plastic tubes, but I can't get them through them. I got a spring, you know, a coil to pull them through those pipes, but it doesn't really work. It's a bit of an older one, I don't know. I do it with small pieces, then I get it through. A bit more work, but that's okay. I think this is the first time I'm speaking about a toilet, because I don't have one right now. I think this is a good spot for an outhouse. Eventually I'll have a toilet in the cabin as well. Maybe a dry toilet, maybe a septic system, I'm not sure about that yet. But an outhouse would be nice for now, while I'm building, but also for people coming to visit, people coming to camp, you know. I mean, sure, I'm sure it will happen, and then they don't have to use one of the small cabins when somebody's living in there. So sort of a public toilet. This is where the inner cabin is going to be. It's going to be a shed for the long term, and but now I need to live somewhere while I'm working on the cabin, so I'm going to move that here. I have to build a deck. I have to build the outside cladding, because all of the inside is sort of ready. But it has insulation, but not outside cladding, so I have to do that. It's a beautiful spot. It has a different view, because you're looking more this way. So you see the forest, you see the houses and the cabins. It's sort of a nice overview of the property. So yeah, I'm excited to build this. So that's going to be the coming weeks before I'm going to work on the roof. Because I need to do this first, because I need to live somewhere. Yeah, that's pretty deep. It's about 1.5 meters, and it goes a bit that way. This way I couldn't see it. It's getting a bit dark. Let's call it a day.
Yeah.
Oh, everything's so beautifully green already.
If the next few days bring what they're supposed to bring.
It's gonna be a lot of rain, huh?
It's going to be a lot of rain, but it's going to be good. It might not be the best for the trees that are flowering right now, but overall it's the best thing.
Oh, you got your window still on.
I'm taking it down tonight.
Oh, really?
I wanted to heat one more time before the cold comes, because
It's gonna be colder, you think?
it's going to be colder. So in a way that you didn't get the tomato plants right now, I mean you can still get them and put them in if you want later.
Yeah.
So it might not even be that bad, because they prefer to not go like way below 10.
I mean, in the night it's gonna be that cold.
In theory,
And then, in the night it's not warm in your greenhouse either, of course.
well, because I mean, unless you want to come constantly to open and close, I just left a few things open,
Yeah.
so it doesn't get that hot in there.
It's gonna be very hot. Like now, it's probably.
It's not. I mean, it's still like it had 4 degrees this morning,
4 degrees. Yeah, it was chilly this night.
and I had like 8 inside, so it does help. The tomato plants they're not killed off by 10 degrees or anything like this, but it's more of a problem later in the season when they form fruit on the flowers. They don't pollinate anymore. If it gets colder in the night, they swarm, so they don't build tomatoes. But won't be a big issue. They might not be growing a lot. But so if you put them in a week or 2 weeks even,
Why do you
you're
better?
fine. But I would have to know if you're gonna do it, because I have to put the water lines in, so you don't have to.
Oh,
water them.
where? So you need to know where.
No, you'll see. If I know that you do it, I'll put in the water lines and you just plant where the water
Yeah.
line's gonna be.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll show you. But
Yeah, I have to do. I'm preparing my garden still too. I'm just so busy with all kinds of things.
yeah, I mean, you have your work cut out for you, but.
Nice. So the last time I was here it was rainy in October or November, I think.
Yeah, and it was getting ready for fall.
Yes. Oh, your door's finished. Yeah, those spikes are beautiful, and the door handle's good
Yes.
too.
Yeah, I tried to get something that sort of matched the overall spirit of the thing.
Yeah.
And then I did some.
Well, it's a good marriage between sort of modern. The window tells you it's modern. And
Yeah,
all the other things.
and I put in the protection
Yeah.
against people who want to enter, which
Thievery, yeah.
is not really.
And this is Castaño or Larch?
No, this is Castagna.
Nice.
It definitely changed the feeling in here, because I had to always keep like the wooden shutters
Yeah.
closed, and that was.
Yeah,
you
now
lose
it's
all
more
the
light.
Now it's just
Yeah.
it's basically the biggest window except for the upstairs door.
How did you get it straight? Like because was the lumber very straight, or was it because you don't have a
I do have a planer,
you have a planer, like a hand planer or like an electric?
electric. I can only do rough looks, which if rough looks in
Perfect.
the sense this was all hand planed. all of
You do
these.
it by eye, right? So you keep your eye on it like you
It's
see
like
others,
it's
right?
10 centimeters. You can adjust up to 2 millimeters in one go that it takes away.
Yeah.
And so I got all the boards I got were old, which is good. So they were sort of used, even though they've started moving a little. So
Yeah.
some of the things that I thought were
But you buy them gray, grigio, is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah.
But then when you shave them, they look beautiful.
they look beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I used the linseed oil like I use for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a subtle.
But it's not exposed to here.
This is where I can drain the system. There's going to be a little tab there underground because it's the lowest point, so if I leave in winter I can put all the taps open and then all the water can go down here and the tubes will be empty, so it won't be frozen. It's going to be a lot of rain the coming week, maybe even more. I think it's going to be good for the soil. It's been dry for more than a week, 2 weeks maybe. It's starting to get green again now, so I think after the rain all the grass is going to be green too. So it's going to be a bit harder to work. I have to close all the ditches and make all the ground flat and level it. Last things to do on the plumbing. So there were cows here just right before I bought the place, so October last year. So I'm throwing all the dung on here. Not sure how much it's worth it because it's been out there for half a year. So it's been rained on, so I'm not sure if it's still nutritious. But maybe it helps. I haven't planted anything, like I think I'll do it next week because there's a cold week coming with a lot of rain. So I think I'll do it next week. some restored houses. That one is old, with a new roof, but this one is completely new. And I can see it because there's no clay in between the stones. It's cement, and the walls are just too straight. You can just see it, but it's really well done because it's exactly the style of the old houses. And also the size. At this altitude they would never make these big houses. This one's quite a lot bigger. I really like the texture of this wood. I wonder how they've done it. If that is also old or if it's maybe burned or something. It looks like it's burned. It's beautiful. Yeah, here you can see it's old. It has the clay in between. Here they fixed it up with cement. Quick job. Not very nice. Door is new. Roof is new. I think this is old. Or it's new and it's also burned. I have to look into the charring because that's a great method to make it look old. Yeah, this one's not so nice. All the cement they fixed up on the outside. Really dirty job. And then all the different materials too. Light wood, yellow wood, painted wood, old wood. New roof stones, old stones. You know, I think the beauty of these buildings is that they're able to transport you back in time. It's like a museum walking on through these mountains and all these buildings. You know, the simple lives that people lived here. The harsh lives, living on the land and with their animals. And I'm building these dwellings made of stones that are picked up from the ground and beams that are cut down trees from the forest here. That's all there is, and some nails which they made the doors of. And then there's this delicate balance with nature, you know, nature taking over these buildings, the moss on the roofs, and sometimes when the roof collapses you get the trees inside and all of the greenery. Especially in summer you see it. And with the renovation I try to keep that in mind. This wow feeling of this, the first time I came here, looking for one of these places to buy. You know, it was summer at the time, and all this grass, the forest taking over these buildings. It's a beautiful sight. And you feel that when you find a ruin, you just feel the age. But you know, when you're renovating it, you're adding a lot of things. You make it more comfortable. You want to make it weatherproof. You don't want spiders and lizards in your house. So there's a lot to be done. But with every decision I have to make, I'm trying to remind myself of this first feeling I arrived here. Does it fit the picture? You know? For example, this door Johannes built for his home, I think it fits the picture. It's all new material, and it has a glass, it has a window, so it is modern in a way, but it has the right bolts, it has the right hinges, the right colors. You know, the fact that this planer had a malfunction, it had a sort of a rough look to it. All these details matter. Like for example, this table. The tabletop is beautiful, the seat is beautiful, but then they used cinder blocks to build up the table, you know, because it's quick and easy and cheap also. And they were probably like done with renovations, think, well, we need a table, let's do the cinder blocks, it's just easier, but it doesn't fit the picture. And I guess a lot of it is taste too.